people who are late. It says this hangout is on the air. Good morning, everybody. This is Lunch with Len. It is, I don't know, it's August 13th. You've heard me say this before. There's not very many shopping days left till Christmas. Probably somebody will shoot me for that one. Can everybody hear me? Hello, Rick. Rick, good to see you. Mike, you're out there. I guess I don't need to type hello, Rick, in the chat now that you can hear me. Somebody can tell me you can hear me and see me. And then we'll jump in. I got a lot to cover today. Oops, somebody fell off. What happened? Nope, somebody came back on. We have a bouncing ball here. Okay, I'm assuming you can hear me and see me. I'm waiting to see in the chat you can hear and see. Anybody who wants to come over and interact is welcome to. I'm going to throw up PowerPoint again. I'm not going to do any tricks like try to go out to what God's world was I tried to do last week. Anyhow, that didn't work, and I woke up twice in the middle of the night stressing over that because I don't know what went wrong. I don't really understand how it managed to shut off the webinar. So good, Rick can see in here. Cool. Hey, one thing I want you to notice before we jump in. Last night on the MLSP webinar, one of the things they went over is how to integrate Funnelizer and webinars on air. And I don't know who has webinars on air and who doesn't. But A-OK, hello, good, thanks, Mike. But they sort of breezed over the API integration. It's like, oh yeah, you just do this, and then it says to integrate the API. So you go out to your webinars on air and get your API, and it's like, okay, guys, when I went to do that, there's a little gotcha sitting in there, and the first time didn't work. So I made a little training video today about how to integrate webinars on air into Funnelizer, and then how to generate a registration page, and I posted it in the Lunch with Len group. So if anyone's interested in that, it's there. Having said that, again, anybody who wants to come over and interact with us is welcome. Craig, hello, Craig. Welcome aboard, buddy. We're about to go out to PowerPoint for a few minutes here, and we're going to probably run over today because I've got a lot to cover, and at the rate we're plotting through the Live the Dream synopsis summary, we're going to be still living the dream a month from now. So I want to cover a little more material today than I have in the last couple of days, which means we're going to run a little late. I hope that's okay with everybody. If it isn't, let me know in the chat. Of course, it's being recorded with a little luck. I'm going to hit share. You should be able to see my screen now. I should be presenting to everybody. And Chris is there. There she is. We missed you, Chris. I thought you were going to drop out today. Okay. Everybody should be able to see my screen. Let me know you can. Bill, you can see the screen?
Well, it's coming up.
Okay.
Don't see it yet.
Well, no, I hadn't turned on the PowerPoint yet.
I got PowerPoint now.
Okay, cool. Let's go. Like I said, and I'm going to move pretty quickly. And like I said, we're gonna probably run a little bit over today. We'll see where we get to. Just try to. We're still in day one of Live the Dream. We haven't even gotten through the first day yet. So I'm going to try to finish the first day off here. So the next talk was Bert Bledsoe. And I honestly don't have very many notes from Bert Bledsoe's talk. You're looking at everything that I have written down. And the big thing, that sort of interesting takeaway from Bert's talk was to lead first, follow. And what does he mean by that? And we've talked about this before. Success leaves clues. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to figure it out and just follow somebody. Pick somebody whom you like, trust, admire, is going where you want to go, doing the things you want to do, and follow them. Do what they do, exactly what they do, and you'll get what they got. Bert referred to a TED Talk on affirmations, but he didn't give a link to it, and I have been unable to find it. So I have sent a message to Bert and asking him if he could share that link. And I'm waiting to hear. Actually, I did hear back from him, and he said he'd get me the link, but it might take a few days. As you may all know from following Facebook posts, he is in the process of moving across the country right now. So he's a little bit, I guess, busy. And then the final thing from Bert is, once again, he quoted Diane, which we're going to see the same quote from Diane in a few minutes. If you would just do what you know how to do, you would be successful. A lot of times we sit around trying to figure out how to do something, and we really know how to do it. What's holding us back is fear, and et cetera. It's not that we don't know how to do it. It's that we're afraid to get started. We just got to jump in with both feet and go. So that's really the summary of Bert's talk. Bill, you got anything to add to that?
No, I would like to find out that TED Talk thing though on affirmations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything written down as a reference. He just mentioned it, and so I've asked him for a link. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Now, he did talk a little bit about the usual, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, that sort of thing. I didn't take notes on it. Traveling right along, Brian Finale came up, and this wasn't a long talk. One of the things that he talked about, though, was the time between ideas and implementation is too long equals failure. And again, what he meant by that is, and we've all heard it before many times, you sort of got 72 hours. That's the number people like to toss around. From the time you learn something, take notes. And that's what he did. He talked about those of us who were sitting there taking notes, saying, look, if you don't do anything with those notes within the next few days, that's waiting too long. And if you wait too long, that's not good. That was basically the message. He did go ahead and mention the idea of MLSP sites, which has been talked about in the Wednesday night webinars, and that websites are coming. And he also talked a little bit about the new MLSP Elite category, which is going to come at us sometime in the next couple of months. And the best that I know about it is it's going to be a $300 membership fee. It's going to be a step above mastery, but it's going to include a lot more hand-holding and one-on-one coaching. So that was basically the summary of what Brian chatted about. Bill, anything to add?
No, I think Brian was very brief in his discussion on sites and elite. He didn't say very much.
Yeah, that's why I don't have very many notes there.
He stopped himself several times from saying too much.
Right. So that's why there's not many notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Traveling on, Lisa Grossman, one of my favorite. Lisa is just an amazing person. I love to listen to her. And I've talked to Lisa personally one-on-one several times. And one of the interesting things about Lisa is she's ad-libbed. I mean, basically, she walks out on the stage not quite sure what she's going to talk about. So she's always an interesting person. She's very smart, and I really love listening to her. She started off with the comment that human nature never changes, but that we need better thinking. And we need to look at our beliefs and ask ourselves which belief serves us better. And the question is, it's not a question of whether a belief we have is right or wrong. There's no right or wrong in our belief structures. But the question is, what beliefs do we hold that serve us well? So she spent a little time talking about that, and it's an interesting idea. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that any more for you than what I've said there. It's examining, what do you believe about yourself, about your world, about your business, and asking yourself if your beliefs are serving you, and not caring about whether your beliefs are right or wrong. And the interesting comment she made was perfection is achieved when there's nothing left to remove. And that's not quite sure I understand how to interpret that either. Bill, you got any comments?
No, I didn't catch that either. That was kind of a statement that you need to go ask her to elaborate on more.
Yeah. One thing I did find interesting is she's a big proponent of TED Talks, and she quote escapes the TED Talks. And what she meant by that is when she's feeling stressed, not sure what to do next, is frustrated with life, or just feeling down, she goes to TED Talks and listens to some of them, and that she finds that to be incredibly inspirational. And yeah, I agree with that. TED Talks are really good. She pushed people to get out of their comfort zone and again to challenge your assumptions so that you can discover your own truths. And we're back to talking about what our beliefs are and which one serves us better. And she encouraged people to speak in the language of the person you wish to become, and to get out of your own way, basically, and not get caught up in your circumstances. So it's really easy to be stuck in circumstances and forget who we're trying to be, and to remember that success is born of failure. You got to fail your way to success. And so failure is not something to be feared. It's something to be embraced and used as a springboard to move forward.
Yeah, it's part of the process.
Part of the process, yeah. She encouraged people to make big decisions with their heart, not your head. Make small decisions with your head. And the message in there is to not overthink things, but to feel them, to do what feels right more often, especially with the big decisions. And she challenged us to think about this following statement: knowing what you know today and knowing it will all be different in 20 years or 10 years, how can you serve the most people? And change is inevitable, of course, in our world. The one thing we can be 100% sure of is that it's all going to be different. And the reality is, we don't know what it's going to look like 10 years from now. Well, we do know it's going to be different. She went on to talk about the idea that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. And this is a number we've heard many times before, but it takes only 20 hours to become proficient enough to execute. So if I want to become a world-class guitar player who's sitting on the stage of the Boston Symphony, that's going to take 10,000 hours of practice. But if I want to go out to the Colorado River on a water ski trip and play a tune on my guitar, I can probably learn how to do that in 20 hours. And that's the message. The message is, don't hold yourself back by this idea that it takes 20,000 hours to become an expert at anything. Learn how to do something good enough and get out of your own way and execute. That's really the message. Am I missing anything, Bill?
No, that was excellent. I really like that.
Yeah. Now, building an MLM, and as you know, Lisa's built several MLMs, very big ones. She's got worldwide huge teams. Put your efforts where they're deserved, not where they're needed. And what she meant by that is, and we've heard this before, people that aren't doing anything don't deserve your support. The people that deserve your support are the people that are trying, that are working, that are asking for help, that are moving forward, that are executing. And that's where you need to put your effort. Those are the people that need your help. Oh, and we all know this. If you have a team of 100 people, you probably have 2 or 3 people that need your support, because those are your builders, and you got 97 people that aren't doing squat, and there's nothing you can do for them because they're not taking action, they're not taking charge, they're not taking responsibility. And so the people that deserve your help are the people that are executing, and that's where you need to put most of your effort. Don't try to drag along the people that aren't doing any work. And in every one of these systems we build, that's the statistics. There will be 2 or 3 people out of 100 that are actually the people doing your work. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to find princes. Nothing's more valuable than your relationships with your people, and you should become irrelevant. And what does she mean by that? You should reach a point where if you disappeared, your team would still execute because it's running without you. So
Duplication.
Good, absolutely. Don't insert yourself in such a way that you're needed for your team to do anything and everything. Always, your objective in life is to work yourself out of a job. They don't need you. They can take care of it without your help. Thank you very much. And she encouraged us all to understand and embrace the joy of knowing that we can make a difference. Bill, anything to add?
No, that's good.
Then we go on to Diane. And again, I don't have a lot of notes about Diane. She made the same comments. If you only do what you knew how to do, things would change. Get out of your own way. She encouraged you to be interested in people. And when we meet somebody, whether we're meeting them online, offline, in the coffee shop, wherever, always strive to find something we can agree on. And what did she mean by that? I'll go back to my scuba diving example. If I'm searching on the internet in scuba diving groups and I find someone who's interested in scuba diving, we can agree on that. Scuba diving's fun. Or I can find somebody who's interested in snow skiing or interested in whatever you're interested in. Find something that you can agree on with a person, something that you have in common, something that you're interested in, and that forms the basis for a relationship with that person that makes it easier to talk to them. Pregnant pause to see if you want to add anything, Bill.
Basically on Diane, she brought up Chris Garcia.
That's correct. He was on stage at the time.
Yeah, and that really boosted Chris's ego or
right,
whatever.
Right.
But then she started bringing up different people. She brought up, it goes back to where you said be interested in people. She started bringing up people that were in real estate, people that worked in hospitals, all different people up there on the stage.
Well, what she did, that's a good point. And I didn't take notes about that, but I remember it well. Yes, what she did was she gave a networking example. And I forget exactly what she led with, but she brought up Chris. Then she asked him where he lives, Florida. Then she said, okay, anybody else in the audience live in Florida? Bam, you had some hands up. Then she brought up somebody else and said, okay, what do you do? Where do you work? What do you do? And then there was an answer. And then anybody else who does that, bam. Then there was, and what she demonstrated was within a few questions that she could network the entire room.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, traveling on. Then we had the panel consisting of Steve Kribda, Ron Gelock, Vitaly, and Terrence Williams. And, I swear to God, there was a fifth person on the panel, but I don't have his name written down, so I don't know who it was. Maybe it was just the four of them. It might have been, no, I don't know. Anyhow, so there was a panel discussion. What do you do? How do you build your business? Steve Kribda started the conversation off. Talk to 10 to 20 people every day. And if you don't feel fear at least one time a day and push through it, you're not growing. Terrence made the comment to keep moving forward every day, one step in front of the other. And Steve recommended The War of Art by Prescott as a good read. I've never read The War of Art. I don't have it. Do you have it, Bill?
No, I don't have it either.
Yeah, I have to get that. So that was recommended. Okay, continue with the panel. Kribda, Steve, don't live in a circumstance. Deal with resistance. And once again, we all get caught in our own circumstances. Oh, I'm too old, I'm too tired, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too, whatever. Don't get caught in your circumstances. There's always resistance. The universe resists us moving forward sometimes, and we just have to overcome that and keep moving, one foot in front of the other. Vitaly went on to recommend The Motivation Manifesto as an extremely good book, which many of us know. Any comments there?
No, I don't remember that much about that.
Yeah. Ron Gelock talked about defining who you are and who you want to serve, and to ask people what they're struggling with, and encourage people not to make goals, but to make decisions. And There's a subtle difference between that. I have a goal to reach L1. Fine. I have decided that I am going to reach L1 by. Okay, and that's sort of a different attitude. There's more strength in the decision than there is in the goal, which is an interesting idea.
Yes.
And to get transformed by renewing your mind. Okay. Vitaly does a video every day and encouraged us to have a clear vision of where we're going and to embrace the journey. And Ron Gielock's final comment was, just do it. Anything to add?
Nope, that's good.
Lisa Torres, I thought, was a pretty interesting talk. And this is actually a picture from her website. You say I dream too big. I say you think too small. I like that. So her talk, 10 steps to 426 people in 90 days. First step, know your vision. And she created a couple things called the 5K Freedom Project and the 5K Victory Tribe. And her objective was to get everybody making $5,000. So that's an interesting objective and vision for her people. Now, you got to remember that Lisa came into MLSP with a fairly substantial list. So it's not like, you know, I mean, I don't mean to take anything away from what she's done, because what she's done is awesome. But it's also that true that people that are relatively new and experienced, haven't had many years of experience, don't have a big mailing list to start with, would have difficulty duplicating her result. But the concepts are valid. Choose a name for your tribe. What are you going to call your people? And create a logo for it. Pick one strategy and focus on it. And the goal is to get 10 leads a day and 1 to 2 signups per day. So she was one of the other people that emphasized the idea of picking a single strategy, not getting spread too thin, putting all your energy into one strategy, one capture page, one campaign, whatever. Step 4, teach and train, add value, teach and train, attract people into MLSP and do videos, blogs, lifestyle, images, storytelling, whatever it takes to attract people. And she started off in this realm. She started building MLSP and then working down to her MLM. Big on social acknowledgement. Thank your followers, reply to all messages, welcome new members, and acknowledge rank advancements in your team. So big on, a lot of people are motivated by recognition more than they are by money. And that's the point. When somebody does anything at all, recognize them, put up a message, put up a post, thank them, congratulate them, and help them to move forward. Step 6, social proof. Share leads and results with your team. Share new marketing signups. Share income stats, share leaderboards, and again with your team. She's really talking about team building here and making sure we keep everybody in the loop as we build a team. And she built a fairly big team in a fairly short period of time. Social, yeah. Go ahead, Bill.
Like you said, she had to have a pretty good sized list to be able to do that in such a short time.
Right. But it doesn't change the concept.
No, I don't disagree.
Yeah. And then step 7 was social engagement and interaction, like, comment, share, interact on all leads, on fan pages, etc., and interact in the Facebook groups. And we've talked about this before. We talked about it last Tuesday on one of the other talks about how important it is to like, comment, share, interact on everything. If somebody likes a post of yours, thank them for the like. Go out to their pages, comment on their likes, and etc. So to just build the interaction. Email your list daily and segment your list into the opens and the unopens. And so that way you can target the people that are not opening your email differently than the people who are opening emails. and to make sure you email value, but not spamming the list, but putting out value continuously. So email your list daily. And finally, steps 9 and 10, do weekly webinars, use CRM, call leads, call new members, get on the phone, talk to people, interact with people. That was her 10 steps to success formula. Anything to add to that, Bill?
No, that pretty well covers everything she talked about.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, but I thought it was very good talk.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for what she's done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you know, the disclaimer that she started with a group, fairly large email list, is not meant to detract at all from what she's accomplished. But it is a reality that some people start with bigger lists than other people, and so anyhow, that's the end of that. So
Yep.
moving on, Jesse Jameson talked about retargeting. I am not. First off, I did not take notes, and I will tell you why in a moment. First off, of course, we've had the training webinars on MLSP recently on retargeting. I'm just going to put this out there. If anybody needs help understanding retargeting, I am willing to help you. I know how to do it. I do understand it, and I may do a training on retargeting. But for me to have taken what he was doing would have been somewhere between not easy and impossible. And the reason is he was screen sharing all this stuff. It wasn't a talk. It was a set of screens. Here's your screen on Facebook. Here's your retargeting pixel. Here's where you get it. You copy it here. You take it there. You paste it there. You put it up here. You do it this, that, the other. Okay.
Plus, he was talking pretty fast too.
Well, yeah. Taking notes for his talk was not possible.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did write down, and I find this to be extremely interesting, and I haven't tested it, and I want to go play with this one, is he put up that page where he showed he generated about 4,000 likes in 3 days or something.
Yeah.
And the group he was targeting was U.S. age group 25 to 55 who liked Entrepreneur Magazine, startup companies, and entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship. Those were terms that he was targeting. And I found that to be very interesting because I've had trouble with targeting on Facebook ads, and I have routinely gone and targeted other people like, maybe Ray Higdon, people that like Ray Higdon, or people that like, those are just examples, but you get the idea. Yeah. The idea of targeting Entrepreneur Magazine never occurred to me. So I think that this may be the most significant thing he said in the whole talk. This is huge. And I'm going to give it a try, and I'll report back if I get any useful results from it.
And you saw his results too, which is very impressive.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely incredible.
And this is how he did it, which was amazing.
Yeah. So I think that this is, like I said, again, to me, that single little tidbit right there was the gold nugget of his talk. Everything else we've been through it several times, and I think we understand it. Once again, I'll put it out there. If anybody out there, and if you want me to do a training on how to do retargeting, just tell me you want me to create a little video because you don't quite understand, and we can do that. We can go over it. I can do a training on it. I can do a webinar. I have no problem with that. It is for people that are relatively new to this business. It is a little bit techie. So
that reminded me of what Rob Ford would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And that's why I did the video I did this morning and threw it up there on the webinar on air integration, because, when these guys do these trainings sometimes in the Wednesday night webinars, they skip over a few little details like, oh yeah, you just go do what the instructions say and do the API integration. Well, the first time I did the API integration, it didn't work because they skipped over one little subtle point that they didn't mention. It's like, oh, you got to do this first. Oh, okay.
They're too close to the subject matter is what the problem is.
Yeah. So when I realized that what they told me to do didn't work the first time through, I realized that other people may stumble over the same thing, and there is an easy solution. And so I made a little video about it. And part of my video, I also did, I did a registration page where I did the complete integration and demonstrated that it worked. So I integrated it into webinars on air, Aweber, and CRM, all three integrations in one page, and then demonstrated that it actually worked. So, that's up there, and that's the reason I did it. So, and so, yes, you're right. These guys are too close to it. Sometimes they don't remember how techy some of this stuff can be for the uninitiated.
Well, that's why you need to take somebody off the street and let them do it. Then you'll find out what's missing.
So let me do 2 more talks, and we'll wrap this for the day. I realize we're at the top of the hour. Cesar Rodriguez, as everybody knows, he's just a machine. He is an absolute machine. But you gotta love this guy. You just gotta love him. Anyhow, his methodology, CCQ-TTC. What in the hell does that mean? Complement, converse, qualify, transition, take away, close with intent, and bounce. Okay, Cesar. What does that mean? Step 1, complement. Sorry, let me go back. Oops. Previous. No, I guess I didn't write them. Okay, complement. Now, you remember, Cesar walks up to people on the street, but you can use the same thing on Facebook too. If you're in groups on Facebook or anything else, the first thing you do is you pay somebody a compliment. Hey, nice car you're driving. Hey, I like your hair. I like the way you look today. Hey, you look pretty sharp. Hey, I like your fan page. I like your cover photo. It looks like you have a lot of energy. Pay them a legitimate compliment. Then start the conversation. What do? Do you live around here? Whatever. Well, not. I mean, if you take the agenda out of the equation, we all know how to talk to people. So just talk to them. Then gradually move to the qualification. Hey, well, and the way he does it is, hey, well, I'm a what's he use? I'm a recruiter for a travel company out of Plano, Texas, and we're looking for people in the area that have your sharp skills. And I wonder if this might be something you're interested in. Oh yeah, sounds interesting. Okay, well look, I can't promise you anything, and that's the takeaway. I can't promise you anything. I'm not the big decision maker. So, but I need your contact information, and I'm in a hurry right now. I can't discuss it with you, but I'll contact you later. And that's the bounce. The close with intent and bounce is to get their contact information. When they say, what is it? Tell me more. It's I don't have time to talk to you about it right now. I'm sorry, I'm busy running to another appointment, whatever it is. But I will be happy to give you a call. How does 7 o'clock tonight sound? So that's his whole strategy in a nutshell. Most of the people that are on this webinar have probably seen him demonstrate this in videos. If you haven't, he does it. He's got videos out there, and he's a lot of fun to watch. You just got to love this guy. And the other thing that he talked about was handling objections, feel, felt, found. And what does that mean? It means, I know how you feel. I felt that way myself, but let me tell you what I found.
Yep.
That's his objection handling. And it works no matter what the objection is. That's a pyramid scheme. It's illegal. I know how you feel. I felt that way in the beginning too, but what I found was, okay, so.
That's a classic response right there.
Right. And he's very good at it. I mean, he's got this thing fine-tuned. It's like a fine-tuned Swiss watch. He just goes through it. So that was Cesar. Pretty much his entire talk. Bill, you got anything to add to that?
He was full of energy.
Oh, he always is.
He was bouncing around the stage.
This guy flies 5 feet off the ground without wings. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, I think everybody knows he and Tanya got engaged. They're getting married. I don't know what the date is. And anyhow, they're a fun couple. You're going to love them. Yep. Okay, moving right along. Let me take on Mike Dillard, the legend. I love this guy. You got to love this guy. He's so down to earth. But he encouraged his first statement was to stop chasing goals. When you're chasing something, it runs through your fingers. It becomes elusive. Interesting idea. Success does not come from something external like a company or an opportunity. We've all heard this before. Your success is not dependent on a company and opportunity. Your failure isn't because of a company and opportunity. You're upline, you're downline, you're sideline. You have to take 100% responsibility for anything and everything in your life, no matter what it is. And that was the message. And he encouraged us all to raise our value, acquire new skill sets, just get better. One of the points he made, and I didn't understand this point in when he made it, but I do understand it now. I'm going to come back to it in a minute. Nobody talks to you about the money you make, what to do with it, and that's an interesting point. And I'm going to mention in a moment. Remind me if I don't come back to this point, Bill, why he put that in there, because there's a couple things I want to tell you, you folks. Anyhow. Let's go back to not chasing a goal. Not chasing a goal. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that, but maybe it's like what we said before. Rather than establishing a goal, we make a decision. And that's a much more powerful statement than I have a goal. So my goal is to reach L2 by Christmas. That's a weak statement. That's a Len LTD statement, by the way. I have made a decision that I will reach L2 by Christmas. A much stronger statement.
Yeah.
And one statement sounds like, well, I might not. It might dribble through my fingers. I might get there. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I won't. The other one sounds like I'll go through hell and do whatever it takes, but I'm not stoppable. So that was an interesting comment, and he was the second person that said it that day. And I've been thinking a lot more about what it really means in terms of how we all manage our own life and our goals and our desires and our vision. Okay, moving on. Mike Dillard, go to, this is a website, 16personalities.com, and take the Myers-Briggs test. I actually did this yesterday. Very interesting. I'm not going to tell you my results, but it's free, 16personalities.com. Write that down and just go there. And just go do it. It'll take you 10 minutes. Go do it. You'll learn some interesting things about yourself. Did I say go do it? The world is in dire need of leadership, so anyone willing to lead can be successful. I thought that's a very powerful comment. Now, here's where I want to go with you. MikeDillardMentoring.com. Go there. MikeDillardMentoring.com. He's got a 1-year mentoring program that you can join for $1 to get started and $97 for the year. You heard me correct. I signed up yesterday. What he's offering, it's unimaginable. And and all of us have this little, well, what's the catch? I haven't found the catch yet. I went through everything yesterday. I listened to his video. I watched his video. I listened to the thing, and at the end of it, I said, "Here's my dollar." Mike, now the dollar gets you 7 days, a 7-day trial in the program, and if you don't like it, you can have your dollar back. And if you do like it, he's going to charge you $97 in a week. That's $97 for the entire year. I can't imagine not getting 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times that value out of Mike Dillard. So I signed up. MikeDillardMentoring.com. And one of the things he talks about.
I signed up for that some time ago, and he's got a lot of webinars and stuff that he puts in there.
Yeah.
There's just a world of wealth of information in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. And one of the things he talks about as part of the program is what to do with your money. And that's why that comment came in, because people talk about making, oh, I'm a 5-figure earner, I'm a 6-figure earner. Well, what are you going to do with your money? And the reality is, many of us get into this business partially because we don't have much money, because we're trying to build up some either reserves or retirement or whatever. But we're not financial planners, and we don't know how to manage money. If we knew how to manage money, we probably wouldn't need the business we're in to begin with. So, and you know, I've made millions of dollars in my life, and I've spent $2 million. I mean, come on, you know. So anyhow, he's right. He's right. So part of his mentoring program is, what are you going to do with your money? How do you invest it? What do you do? How do you hang on to it, et cetera? So that's a piece of the equation. He also talked about his podcast, and I went and listened to one of his podcasts yesterday. So there's the address of his podcast, MikeDillard.com, category podcast. And I would encourage you. I only listened to one of his podcasts yesterday. It was very good, very, very interesting. So anyhow, I give you the web address. I'd check out Mike Dillard. He is working on a hydroponic system, as many of you may know. Some of you may know. I looked up hydroponics last night. There's lots of homemade hydroponic systems. It's pretty intriguing. But he's bringing to market a hydroponic system that will cost $300 and will grow all of your vegetables that you're ever going to need to feed your family for the rest of your life for $300, and some seeds and fertilizer. The system's not available yet, but I, for one, I can't wait. I want one. And we don't have to go to the store and worry about buying contaminated with poison vegetables anymore. I don't know if any of you folks, this is a side comment, I don't know if any of you folks have been following some of the stuff that's going on recently, or how much of it you've been following, but what we're finding out is that every vegetable we pick up in the supermarket is just covered with poison. You can't wash it off. It's there, and we're ingesting it every day. And some of the things we're finding out about some of our food is just beyond comprehension. So, and even growing organic food, it's expensive. Well, you can grow if you have Mike's hydroponic system. The promise is you'll be able to grow all of your food organically at home, feed your whole family for $300. I can't wait. A win. This is a very interesting idea. A win is how many people surround you who love you. And the ability to execute determines success. Master a skill set and execute it. One of the things that Terry Grimal pounds home all the time is execution. One of the things that Diane and Bert pound all the time is execution. So, when the end of your life comes, it doesn't matter how big your house was, how big your car was, how many Bentleys you owned. What matters is how many people loved you. That apparently is the end of Mike Dillard, because that seems to be the last slide I have. So that is, I think that pretty much is a wrap on day one. I'm gonna stop. Let me see. I'm gonna try not to shut the webinar off. I'm gonna stop the share.
Good.
Close this. Washing. Okay. Yeah, Bob Miller. Okay. Washing doesn't help. Do we have any other comments out there, suggestions or anything? I know we ran a little bit over today. That's okay. Please plan on running a little bit over for the next couple of days too, because again, if I continue with the idea that we only have a half hour a day, it's going to take us a long time to get through all the MLSP talks or the Live the Dream talks. We still have all of day two to get through, pretty much. A lot of people yet to come up. Let me tell you what's coming. Let me look through my notebook and I'll give you an idea of where we are. Jesse Jameson, we got Caesar, we got Mike Dillard. We did Mike Dillard, and then we have April Marie Tucker. We have Ray Higgins talk. and Steve Jaffe, Terry Grimal, and that's pretty much it. That's it. We're getting there. In fact,
wasn't there another panel discussion?
Pardon me?
Wasn't there another panel discussion on the second day?
You know what? We may have actually that panel we just did a few minutes ago may have been the second day. You know, to be honest with you, I don't remember which day these were. I didn't notate which day was what. So we got about 4 talks left to go. So maybe we'll be able to do that on Tuesday, and then we'll be pretty much through the Live the Dream summary. Now I want to put a challenge on. We have 8 people on the webinar today. I'm looking down the list. I see who you are. Oh, Carol. Hello, Carol. So, everybody, find something that I told you today and write a blog post about it. I don't have a blog yet. My blog isn't functional yet. Okay. Then write a Facebook post about it. Just make it a little shorter. Teach. Invest, learn, teach. You're investing your time to be here. I'm investing my time to summarize all these talks as best I can. As you all know, sitting in an audience listening to people live, it's hard to get every little detail, but I think I've done a fair job of giving you a flavor for what these talks are, what the people have to say, what the concepts are. Let's start to implement. Let's start to teach it and implement it in our own lives, all of us. And you've already seen some of it coming from me. I hope you're seeing some. And I want everyone else doing the same thing. Sound like a deal? Anybody want to object to that? Because next week, we're going to have Larry coming back telling us everything that went on in Florida. So we're going to have lots more stuff to learn. So that's all I have for today. We've gone 50 minutes. Anybody have any comments, questions, suggestions, criticisms, accolades? This is doing good. It's helping. I'd love to know that you're getting value. Bill, anything to add?
No, I think you did a very good job.
Thank you, my friend. Mike, thank you. Anybody else? Bob, you washing your vegetables? Good deal, Len. Yeah, Chris, you told him at NES you want one. Yeah, I told him too. Yeah, we all want one. Absolutely. I mean, I would just absolutely die to have one of those. And knowing Mike, what he's going to bring to the market is going to be a phenomenal product. I mean, I just believe in this guy. He's very good at what he does. I have a lot of confidence and faith in him. Okay, let's shut it down. It's the end of Lunch with Len. It's the end of Thursday. I hope you all are going to have a wonderful weekend. And I would really like to hear if anybody feels they would like me to do a training or a video or etc. on the recapture stuff, retargeting stuff. I don't want to spin my wheels and waste my time if nobody needs it. So, but if one person needs it, then more than one needs it. So if there's anybody out there that feels like it would help them, let me know, and then I'll put it together.
Yeah, Len, why don't you go ahead and do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I do a video?
What I've learned is different people stress different points, different parts of it. And you always learn from different people.
Okay.
Because different people see things differently.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a training video in the next couple of days. And then depending on how I feel at the end of the training video, maybe we'll do a live webinar and go through it. Some of these things, I don't like to do them live sometimes for reasons that, well, you saw on Tuesday, some of the reasons I don't like to do them live sometimes. It's possible to get all tangled up. I still don't really understand why bringing up OnlyWire caused the webinar to shut down on Tuesday. I need to spend some time looking at that. In fact, maybe today, Bill, when we're on at 4 o'clock, maybe at the end of that, we'll do a little experiment with OnlyWire and see if I can identify what the problem was. Maybe you can help me. Because I really don't understand how that ended up shutting down the webinar. I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure. I'd like to identify that and verify it so I don't do it again. So anyhow, all right, everybody, going once, going twice. Sold to the highest bidder. We'll see you all on Tuesday. Oh, and everybody, is everybody aware of the Tony Robbins interview it's being recast, replayed on Saturday morning by Eric Worre? Ought to be a phenomenal webinar. 9 o'clock, I believe it's 9 o'clock Pacific time, Saturday morning. If anybody isn't aware of it, I know, Chris, you've got a link for it. I've got a link for it. Hit us up. Ask us for the link, and we'll get it for you. Other than that,
you need to register for the webinar so you can get the replay.
Right.
There's going to be so many people you may not get on the live webinar.
Oh, they've already got. He's shooting to have 500,000 people registered.
He had 25,000 yesterday morning.
Yeah, yeah.
So you need to sign up just to get the replay link.
Yeah, yeah. So this ought to be pretty awesome. And the idea here is that Tony Robbins is standing up in public, telling the world about what a great idea MLM is. It's really bringing our business, this industry, out of the dark ages and into the public domain, and putting down all of these. Oh, it's illegal. Oh, it's a pyramid. Oh, it's, yeah. All right, folks. Going dead. Talk to you later. Bye for now.